Hey guys, Andy here, creator of Instagram account Simpsons Meme Factory. Today I'll be taking you through how I make all my Simpsons memes. So the very first app that I use is called Cut Me In Template, which I have on my iPhone. So basically this is what I use for all the cropping and just kind of cutting out images. So I've already gone ahead and chosen a few desired images for the meme using Frinkiac. So basically that site is used to enter words or enter any catchphrases from the show to find the exact image that you want, and then you can save them to your phone and get started. So look, the first step is basically cropping. I use a lasso tool first, which basically gets a rough outline of what you're looking to cut out, and then you can kind of use the more kind of finer tuned tool, which I'm using now. As you can see, obviously it's in fast forward just to kind of give you guys an idea what it consists of. Look, a lot of people do tend to think that it's a bit of a monotonous kind of chore to do this little fine tuning and getting every crevice, every detail. But look, you kind of get used to it after making memes for 3+ years like me, and probably 4,000 memes into the process. You get quite quick at it. And look, I actually find it quite relaxing, quite therapeutic to just kind of sit back, make a meme. So here it is, basically putting the now cropped image on the background. I've saved it, so basically that will save into my album on my iPhone. Then I will crop out another part of the image. So I'm replacing Ned and Maud, basically from the episode Lisa's Date with Destiny. And on top of it, I'm putting the episode where basically Homer becomes a clown. And what essentially I'm doing here is, I guess the joke I'm going for is, instead of Homer telling Ned and Maud to shut up, will you two shut up? Basically, it's the two Krusties. One is Homer dressed as Krusty, and it's one of Fat Tony's henchmen, Legs. And in the episode where Homer does become a clown, he says, "I'm seeing double here for Krusties." So the joke basically is, will you four shut up instead of will you two shut up, because it's the two Krusties instead of Maud and Ned. So the next app that I'm using here is called Art Studio Lite. So basically this is where I go in, do all the kind of rendering, the redrawing, the shading, the blending, the erasing, etc. And this is how I think you kind of get the image to look as close to what the show actually would look like if it was a screenshot from the show. So again, can take quite a bit of time. You want basically it to look seamless. You want it to look as though it is part of the show, that you haven't done too much of the editing, and the cropping looks unnatural. So what I do is basically you can kind of touch on a color, hold down, and what actually happens is then it mimics that color and you can get the exact color you're looking for. Now again, it's quite monotonous, quite repetitive, but I like to do the outline, as you can see I'm doing now with Krusty's hair and his neckline. Basically, you want it to look like it does in the show. So in order to do that, I do all the outline as well, because often when you crop, you find that it kind of does generally cut out that outline that you're going for. And I guess it's not the look that I'd want. It's not quite as clean. So obviously, again, this is sped up because it'd be pretty boring to watch me do the whole thing. But what I like to do is just get that nice outline. Any little kind of mistakes you might make, you can fix as you're editing. You can kind of clean it up a little bit. And what happens then generally is it looks a lot kind of closer to how the show still frames would look like. So here I'm just kind of fixing a bit of the background, getting rid of Maud from the photo frame. Just kind of looks like it's a bit out of context if we're assuming now that it's not at Ned and Maud's house, even though we know it is. Again, just finishing up with some outline, wanting to kind of blend a bit of that background where the bed head was, because again, sometimes when you replicate the color, I often find that some of the older Simpsons episodes, the color from one surface from like 1 centimeter to the next changes quite a lot. So sometimes you have to find you need the eraser tool to blend it a bit together so it doesn't look so harsh. So here I'm basically cropping and coloring in legs. I didn't want him to wear the pajamas that Homer was wearing, so basically I ensured that I kind of gave him the same suit. So look, I made him a bit thinner too. Obviously I didn't want him to have Homer's frame, trying to make it a little bit more similar to how Legs' body would be. So I've saved that. Now basically this is a 2-panel meme. So what I've done is I actually want the same image, but I don't want Legs in the image because for the first frame it's just going to be Krusty and Homer. So instead of going through the process of recropping everything, doing it from scratch, I actually find it easier to save the image, then take a few steps back with the back button, which is at the top right hand corner, and then basically draw him out, change the basically background to look like it's just the two Homers, the Homer and Krusty just talking to each other, and then I basically save that into my folder. So what I then do next is I actually take a screenshot of both of the finished images. Now the only reason I do that is I actually use another app called AutoCap. Now that's basically where I input the text. A lot of people have given me a bit of a hard time over the years for not using the proper Frinkiac, I guess, Simpsons official font, but I guess I've kind of developed my own style where I've just always kind of gone for a look that I've gotten from this one specific app. There's literally dozens and dozens of different fonts you can use, but I tend to use the same one over and over for the most part. So what I've actually done is I've already got the text ready as a screenshot on my phone, so I'm referring kind of back to it as need be. There I go, saving the first line. Basically I wanted to have a second line where it's Krusty responding to Homer saying, "Thank you, you've come to save me." And basically it's Krusty saying, well, they can't kill us, if they don't know which one's the real Krusty. So then that's when the second panel will be Legs saying, "Will you four shut up?" So I thought that was, quite a funny little joke. Again, if you're not a huge Simpsons fan, that might go over your head. But I think, it was quite a good little reference, to the original scene. So basically I'm adding the second line of text, which I'm placing there. Again, you can change the size, the font you want with the AutoCap app. All the apps I do use, I've just gotten from the App Store on my iPhone, and I am aware that a lot of people have said to me that they no longer exist, which is true. So I think I've gotten these apps probably 3 years ago now, and I think they no longer exist. However, because I already got them, they don't just suddenly disappear. I can keep using them. But basically you can find any kind of text or, editing type of app on your phone. I guess another thing is people often think that I make all my memes sitting behind a computer, which is just, for me, there's no way I would have the time or the energy to be able to make as many memes as I do, post them daily onto my Instagram account if I was in fact, using a computer. So the beauty of using my phone is quick, it's easy. I think it has the exact same kind of outcome that I'm looking for. I don't have to use Photoshop. I think it still looks pretty professional, and you can get quite quick at making these after a while. So the next app I'm using here is called Photo Collage, and again that's just pretty much to frame it. So what I've done is, I think back then I also had added a watermark, which again I just do for my own benefit. I have had memes a lot of the time kind of pop up in other places and people not showing who's made it and who's to credit. I know I can't stop people from cutting out my watermark, but a lot of people do also do it as well. I think also a lot of people don't see it there, so I think it's pretty subtle. So anyhow, this is just the this is the framing right now. So I've gone into my phone and I've actually started editing a few things like the brightness, the tools. I've cropped the image, I've changed the contrast. So here I am, basically the last final step. Go into Facebook on one of the Facebook groups I post, adding a little caption on the top, And basically that's it. I'm ready to go. I post it into the Facebook group and it is all done. So thank you so much for checking out this video, guys.